Good afternoon, everyone. This is Black Spring with Autumn on your Sunday, and it is March 8th, 2026. Hope you guys are doing well out there. This is a test. It's entitled Test 1 because I have not, this is the first test I've actually done. I've talked about it and I talked about it, and we'll see what happens. So I'll give you guys a few seconds to come in here. Even though it's a test, I may take an opportunity to actually do a little bit of commentary. Hope you guys are doing it well out there. And then we may just have a little bit of commentary. Oh my gosh, it's Marcy T and realize. Thank you guys so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. I have, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys for coming in. And this is a test, and we'll see what happens. I honestly didn't really expect, get any traction so close. Thank you so much, Marcy T. Hugs to you. Hugs back to you. What I want to do, realize. Thank you again for coming in. I just, I had some commentary earlier this week. We'll see if my audio goes out right now. So what I may do is just do a little bit of a recap on some things that I was commenting on earlier this week. And it involved, I'll tell you, the New American has the piece. It was regarding, of course, the DOJ releasing FBI interview summaries containing, of course, sexual allegations, of course, against Trump. And I kind of got shut down. So I guess what I'm going to ask, if you guys can remember it, if you could give me a 5 by 5 when you come in. Yeah, I anticipated that, Marcy T. I just think that the time is completely warped anyway. We're under a warped bit of time. So I don't know. Since you guys in here, I said it was going to be a test. Let's just run it. Let's run it. Let's see. Thank you guys. Realize, as well as Marcy T. Prayer Warrior. Let's see what happens here. Let me share a little bit of screen fun for you. That's what I want to do. Okay. Hope you guys are doing well out there. So let's go ahead and show. This is the piece that I kind of wanted to be on about. So, with an audience, whether, audience or not, come what may. Thank you, Marcy T. I really appreciate it on the sun in the day, whether you have sun or not. Let's just look at this piece really quickly, okay? This is a piece, I've talked about this before. I've talked about how, wars often produce, of course, unintended beneficiaries or whatnot. In addition to that, I've heard it said before that the wars abroad keep the peace at home. Well, it looks like the wars abroad, to me, kind of keep the corruption at home, at bay. That's what it seems like. And it just seems like we're kind of joined at the hip with another, I'm telling you, there's all kinds of things going on out there. But as I was saying, let me pivot here. Let me hinge back this way. Wars often produce unintended beneficiaries. And in this piece that I'm sharing with you right now, it came out Time magazine. In this case, it shows that Russia appears to be gaining leverage through energy markets and strategic distractions, apparently. But the deeper question is, whether this prolonged conflict reshapes the balance of power or simply, spreads instability across the system. I think it's going to probably end up doing both of those, in all honesty, because I'll tell you right now, the pump is already experienced. It's already showing the effects of this whole thing. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get into this just really quickly. It's not a long piece. We've also had all kinds of backlashes, during the week. I'm pivoting again. I'm pivoting back to the media, to the framers or to the gatekeepers all week. They've been saying, oh, well, so-and-so's not MAGA. Tucker Carlson's not MAGA. Megyn Kelly's not MAGA. I mean, I remember I remember the post Rupert Murdoch Fox News, in which Megyn Kelly made an exit at that time, and it seems like somebody else got pulled. I think Bill O'Reilly as well. I think he went away from that. But I think they've all gone to YouTube. Okay. All right. So with that said, let's go ahead and move into this. Marcy T. And if you guys could snug and hug and love on the like button, it won't hurt. It won't. It just a little. It won't hurt too bad. All right. So here it is. How Russia emerged as an early winner of the Iran war. Okay. All right. So according to this was released on yesterday. Yesterday. The war in Iran has killed hundreds of civilians, displaced hundreds of thousands more, sent global oil prices skyrocketing, created a political crisis for President Donald Trump, and shaken the stability of the Gulf. But for one nation at least, the chaos has created opportunity. Russia has emerged from the first week of the U.S.-Israeli attacks on Iran as an early winner, seemingly able to profit from the secondary economic and geopolitical effects of the war, while others bear the cost. Russia is one of the few nations that has maintained a friendly relationship with Tehran. Moscow condemned the U.S. and Israel's attacks on Iran on February 28th, calling it a, quote, pre-planned and unprovoked act of armed aggression against a sovereign and independent UN member state, end quote, in a statement from Russia's Foreign Affairs Ministry posted to Telegram. Vladimir Putin similarly criticized the killing of Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, as a, quote, cynical murderer. All right, it goes on to say, but while it may stand to lose a powerful ally in the region, Moscow may also benefit in the short term, analysts say. Quote, what we're seeing now was not hard to predict, end quote, says Robert Person, non-resident senior fellow with the Eurasia program at the Foreign Policy Research Institute, FPRI, a nonpartisan think tank based in Philadelphia. Quote, Putin and his advisors have likely determined that war in Iran serves Russia's interest in the short term. Higher energy prices, global distraction from a Ukraine war that Putin is not ready to settle, and America at risk of entrapment in another Middle Eastern quagmire, end quote. Person says. Quote, we don't know the degree to which any of this influenced the Trump administration's decision-making, but I suspect they were of secondary consideration, if at all, end quote, he adds. Here are the ways in which Russia is benefiting from the Iran war. And it starts out with U.S. list restrictions on Russian oil. Russia has been under heavy sanctions from the U.S. and other allies since its full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022, including export controls, asset blockings, and oil price cap, and other restrictive economic pressures aimed at impeding its ability to fund its war. President Donald Trump imposed an additional 25% import tariff on India over its import of Russian oil in August, arguing that its continued purchase undermined the sanctions regime designed to pressure Putin to negotiate over the Ukraine war. But in response to rising gas prices in the U.S., Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent this week issued a 30-day waiver on the tariff and is considering further lifting of sanctions. Quote, yesterday, the Treasury agreed to let our allies in India start buying oil that was already on the water, end quote, Bessent told Fox Business on Friday. Quote, we may sanction other Russian oil, end quote. In an ex post Thursday, Bessent added that the, quote, deliberately short-term measure will not provide significant financial benefit to the Russian government as it only authorizes transactions involving oil already stranded at sea, end quote. Despite this, Russian leadership claims that there is, quote, a significant increase in demand, end quote, for Russian energy products, according to Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov, end quote, in connection with the war in Iran. Rising oil prices, a combination of heavy sanctions and low oil prices, had given Russia's energy industry a poor outlook just a little over a week ago. Oil and gas revenues fell from 45% of Russia's federal budget in 2021 to around 20% in 2025, as sanctions imposed by the international community aiming at limiting Moscow's ability to wage war in Ukraine took effect. Now, due to the crunch of global oil supplies caused by the Iran war, oil prices have spiked, and Russia is one of the few oil producing nations that stands ready to fully benefit from it. It was forced to sell its oil at a discount of $10 to $13 a barrel before the U.S. Israeli attacks on Iran. Now it is selling at a premium of $4 to $5, according to Reuters. The combination of higher prices and the disruption to the Gulf countries' ability to supply markets in Asia could provide a windfall to Moscow, just a year after its oil and gas revenue dropped to its lowest level since 2020. Ukraine's patriots. One knock-on effect of the Iran war is that it may directly impact Ukraine's ability to defend itself against Russian missiles, delivering a boost to Moscow. Ukraine was already facing a shortage of U.S.-made Patriot air defense systems, the expensive $4 million a piece munitions, its uses to shoot down ballistic missiles and drones. Now the U.S. is running through those same missiles to defend against a barrage of Iranian missiles and drones that are targeting U.S. bases and Washington's allies in the Middle East. European Union Defense and Space Commissioner Andrius Kubilius said Friday that the outlook for Ukraine was, quote, critical, end quote, and said that the EU would need to, quote, develop missile production in a very urgent and very rapid way, end quote. Quote, Americans will not be able to provide enough of those missiles for the Gulf countries, for their own army, and also for Ukraine, end quote, Kubilius said. Ukraine's vulnerability to aerial attacks was underscored overnight on Saturday as Russia launched a barrage of at least 450 drones and 19 missiles in the Ukrainian city of Kharkiv. I'm not sure. Listen, that's not my language. According to Ukrainian officials, killing at least 10 people. An analysis by the Agence France-Presse found that Russia fired more missiles in overnight strikes in February than any month since the beginning of 2023. The agency found that Russia launched 288 missiles at Ukraine in February, an increase of about 113% compared to 135 missiles in January. At the same time as his country is struggling to defend itself, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky said his country would assist the Gulf in taking down Iranian drones by providing some of its much cheaper homegrown drone interception technology. Quote, we received a request from the United States for specific support and protection against Iran's drone systems, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky said Thursday on X. Ukrainian advisors and systems would shortly be on their way to the Persian Gulf region, Zelensky said, because Ukraine helps partners who help ensure our security. Russia has used Iranian-made Shahed drones to devastating effect against Ukraine over the last few years. Most out of necessity, Ukraine developed cheap interceptor drones known as the Sting system, which are operated by pilots who can guide them to crash into Shahed drones, forcing them to explode. Okay, so we're coming to the close here. So this is degrading America's projection of power. Several news outlets, including the Washington Post and the Associated Press, have reported that Russia has shared targeting intelligence on the U.S. military with Iran and is directing Iran on what to do with the information. The Post, citing officials familiar with intelligence on the matter, said that the intelligence included locations of American warships, aircraft, and other military assets. White House officials have not denied that Russia is providing intelligence to Iran, but they have downplayed the country's influence and its ability to harm military operations. When asked by CBS News about the reports and how Russian information has aided Iran in targeting U.S. bases across the Middle East, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said, quote, no one's putting us in danger, end quote. Quote, we mitigate it as we need to, end quote. The Pentagon chief continued, quote, our commanders factor all of this, but the only ones that need to be worried right now are Iranians that think they're going to live, end quote. Earlier this week, President Donald Trump snapped at a Fox News reporter, Peter Doocy, when he asked about Russia's reported role in helping Iran. Quote, I have a lot of respect for you. You've always been very nice to me, end quote, told Trump. Trump told Doocy. Oh, that's interesting. What a stupid question that is to be asking at this time. We're talking about something else. Quote, recent reports that Russia has provided Iran with intelligence used to target American forces in the region are consistent with the latter effort. Anything to complicate or degrade America's projection of power shifts the relative geopolitical balance in Moscow's favor, end quote. Person says. So, guys, that I did catch a little bit of the media this week. Oh my gosh, who's here? Derek C. Williams. Derek C. Williams is here. Thank you guys so much for coming in and loving on the like button. Right now, I am actually showing there's only one person in here. Let's see. Let's get some comments here. Derek C. Williams. Derek C. Williams comes in and he says, in listen mode as I enjoy libations with my favorite cigar, the Asylum 13 Org. Hey, ogre. What is it ogre? I don't know. Could be English, right? Thank you so much. I appreciate you for coming in. He says, let the Shia and Zionists fight it out. There you go. Derek C. Williams says, not our fight at all. All this does in the short term is wreck our economy that was somewhat coming back. Touche, Derek C. Williams. You're right on the dime. I'm so glad you come in here. Hello, Latressa Montgomery is here. Oh my gosh, you guys keep loving on the like button. I guess they let a few people in, right? The best ones, right? The best ones on a test on a Sunday. I really appreciate that so much. Let's see. Oh, I'm missing Chris Wilson 9873. Thank you so much for coming in. Let me back it up here. Derek C. Williams. Yeah, I agree. Yikes. Okay. I just think it's the new world order is on track. It just seems like the same. We get the same song and dance. Same song and dance. Let's see. Derek C. Williams. Let's see. Derek C. Williams says, let them fight it out. Trump let Israel play him. Yeah, it's like, are we getting pimped or played? I don't know. How does it go? Who's that? Who's the, like, are we the, where's the wing? Who's the wingman? Chris Wilson's here. Yeah, I appreciate you guys for loving on the like, but on a test on a Sunday, on a test. So, who knows, I don't want to say this gives me hope, but I really do appreciate you guys so much for coming in. I really do. Yeah, because, I've had some thoughts for a while, and, there's all, during war, you're going to get, somebody's going to get the benefits. Somebody's going to reap the benefits. And I don't think it's going to be us, because I'm going to tell you, I think the gas price went up over the weekend. I swear it did, at least by 10 cents. And that's from anywhere from Exxon, Chevron, Pace Car, whatever, 10 cents. They turned it over. It flipped over this afternoon, early afternoon, in the region in which I am. Okay. Not to mention that I do think that they're asking for funding for this war, along with, the Dems can get something out of this too. They can get money for, there's just so many. Oh my gosh, look who's here. It's Zero the Infinite. It's been a lifetime. How are you? Chris Wilson comes in hot, says it's going to hit $4 a gallon a week. That's why I'm thinking already. That's why I went and topped off. I went and topped off earlier today, but before I could do the top, before I could top off, it turned as I was headed to the pump. It's already topped off. Let's see. Let's go with it. Realize says, I have no problem with our country of Israel. Let's see. Hold on. Let me make sure I can see here. No problem with the Zuptri, Dowtry of Israel, just those Khazarian wicked evil demons, Satan's seed. Well, I'm picking up most of what you're putting down. Let's see, Marcy T. Let's see. Zero, it's been a lifetime. Hope you're doing well out there. And Realize says my cousin was in Puerto Rico, was in the Puerto Rico gas, was 80 cents a gallon, Puerto Rico. Gosh, Realize I haven't been. Puerto Rico is a fun place. I haven't been to Puerto Rico in probably, what year is this? Oh boy, probably like 6 years now. Somewhere between 6 and 7 years. But yeah, love the bioluminescence. Freedom's March here. How are you, Freedom's March? Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me see if I can scroll that down. So that came out of Time Magazine. Time Magazine, because to me, they're going to shut down. I mean, you're going to see, I've already seen like the whatever they call the infighting, or here we're back to that whole, who's MAGA versus who's not MAGA. Allegedly, I think I heard it that heard the clip that Tucker's is not MAGA, nor is Megyn Kelly. I talked about that at the beginning. I talked about that. So I'm tracking like 10 years. Was that post Rupert Murdoch Fox News, and because Kelly went out right before Trump was elected, and I think so did Bill O'Reilly. So that's the past, but keep it greasy. It's pretty greasy no matter what. Let me back it up here. Freedom Smart says 4 hots a gallon. Yeah, it's fast. It's moving really quickly. Freedom's March. Like I said, I had to run out for a second earlier today, and I think it was still $2.99, and by the time I turned around to come back, it was $3.09. I'm beginning to wonder if that's not the day in which they change the prices, get upgraded. It'll be on a Sunday. That's what I'm thinking it's going to be. But I'm thinking probably midweek it'll be $3.50 or maybe $3.75. I don't know how fast it's going to move. But the common man, we're going to get squeezed. What's in it for the common man? I don't think this is a win. I don't. If you see some of these other chat rooms or some of these other sections, I don't know. Is it the Kool-Aid? Is that what it is? It's not. It can't be the Kool-Aid. Okay. Derek C. Williams says, I see the cover story of exploding cancer amongst folks under 40. Fear not. Simply scroll my community tab. Yes, everybody, please, please, please. If you've got a channel, go ahead and drop your link. Do whatever you need to do. Move around. Because if this, if I can keep this kind of traction, then I will certainly, I'll do more. I'll do more because I haven't been in a while. We'll say this could be one-off. It could be, or maybe not, but we've been here before, folks. We've been here before. But I'm just wondering, like this whole, the digital currency, if that's to come about, what in the world? Well, we're going to lose something. Things aren't going to remain the same. I'm just thinking that we just that there's so many resets. I think we were reset in 2020, I believe. That's what I think. So when you get I think, what is it? It's looking like when things are reset, things get lost. Dare I say, whether it's history or, the truth gets lost in the reset. And I said for a long time, I don't think we're ever going back to the way things were. And there is no free speech, because I saw, say for instance, what was it? The Marine. I can't remember his name. I might be able to pull that one. They might try to whack me for sure if I pull that one out, where there was a Marine that was, I think he was a veteran Marine, that he was pretty much just, they broke the guy's arm. What it appears, they broke the guy's arm. See, to me, we're living in such a time of deception. Sometimes I don't know what in the hell we're looking at, but to me, it was pretty convincing. Most AI, you can pick it doesn't pass the smell test, but on this one, it seemed like those people were a bunch of droids sitting in there. Like, you would have thought they were a bunch of fatheads sitting in those seats, because they didn't flinch. They didn't turn around. The people with their backs to that guy, to me, that was the backs. It was like the whole juxtaposition of the backs that were to that veteran Marine guy, and the people that were looking on, and everybody else is just all with their cameras. Everybody, like the you could tell the generational, the mix in there, because the younger people were eventually started pulling out their phones, but they just wanted to shut him up, silence the guy. That's what they wanted to do. Let me see what's going on here. Okay, hang on, guys. I appreciate you guys so much for coming on. Let's see. Dare I drop a link out here? For old time's sake, right? I appreciate you guys. Please make sure you love on the like button. And if you have a site, if you have a channel, please drop it. Drop your channel link if you're in a position to do so. If you want to. I mean, just, you can do that around here. Let's see. Freedom's March says the right and the left are both trash. Gotta stop voting for the lesser of two. Yeah. Who was that guy that who was it says, let me take you to a higher level? It was KRS-One. That's a great tune. Let's see. Yeah, but I'm like, people weren't ready for that kind of thinking back then. I don't know. It says you the vote. It says, you either vote for the evil, the less of evils, or you vote for something. I don't know. Those lyrics are powerful. I don't know. It's they they rankle. KRS-One lyrics. I don't know. It's like I'm always happy that I can get that. I can always jump in on some of those 1990s rappers that whichever ones my brother wasn't listening to. Let me put it that way. Let's see. Yoj 50. Let me see. Let's see. Let me back it up here. Freedom's March is here. Thanks so much for coming in. May Lynn's here. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys for loving on the like button. Freedom's March is here. May Lynn Romero's here. Let me keep scrolling. It's a little bit wonky on the let's see. Let me just bump this thing up here. Let's see. KRS-One. Yeah, like, I don't know. I mean, the beat on that is just it was pretty mesmerizing for me. I don't know. It's just like the tune could just go on and on a loop and I wouldn't care. Let's see. Nice to see you. Let's see. KRS-One knowledge. So, okay, here you go. Derek C. Williams breaking it down. He says, KRS-One knowledge reigns supreme over nearly everyone. One of the best to do it. My favorite MC, him and Immortal Technique. Yeah, well, I think some of those artists from, dare I say, back in the day, they're probably very much, they didn't get the time that they deserved. If we could measure it in time, they still couldn't get it. Let's see. Let me back it up here, because these things are coming in kind of fast in here. Looks like we have 7 people in the stream. I hope you guys have taken an opportunity to love on the like button. I don't know. This is kind of inspiring. I mean, it makes me kind of want to come back after, like, when it's a little bit after dark. Oh, by the way, I guess the time warp has changed again. So did we spring forward? Did we spring forward? I don't know about the time, guys. I think the time, there's a story there. Hey, some people attribute, the effects of the time to CERN, but something is definitely off. Something is definitely off. Let's see. I'm going to back it up here. I'm getting behind because you guys are moving so fast in here. Let's see. Let me. Zero says KRS-One might as well be on the Epstein list after African Bambaataa situation. Whew. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Latressa Montgomery's. Hold on. It seems like the stream is going. I don't know did they change something in here? Marcy T. Like I say, it was already moving fast. Now we lost an hour. It's like midnight already. You got that right. Yeah, we did something forward. But you know what? Shout out to Mr. Pearson that says that, these people, the powers, they believe in future past. I think a lot of things, I'm thinking some things have already happened. And we're just, it's almost like we're backwards, we're living backwards or something, even with I think I was talking with Marcy T the other day about power, and it's just, I don't know. What is it? I don't know. It just seems like we're not as advanced as they say we are, or it's all under the control. Let's see. Let's back it up. Here we go. Freedom's March says spring forward is a killer. Heart attacks rise up when we spring forward. Yeah, it takes a toll on one. Yeah. I mean, I usually hate this time of the year. Daryl Calhoun's here. Daryl Calhoun, or is it Darrell Calhoun? Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. It's nice to see you here. But yeah, this is really dark stuff. Like, to me, all these deaths, and I don't care what death it is. I don't care if it's an Iranian death. I don't care if it's an American death, whatever. It's just death. These are all, to me, these are sacrifices. To me, it's wicked. It's like it's a sacrifice, an offering. What's it all for? I think I remember hearing some interview about, how people's bodies are mangled and whatnot. And I have no idea. Nothing good's going to come out of it. I don't know. It's the arrogance of man to think that a death for a death really does make things better. I don't think so. It doesn't change the world for the better. I mean, that's making me think about, some of the other writings that are out there. Let me bump this back. Let's see. Chris Reed. He says, what do you think about Trump's making being homeless illegal? I don't know. I just think that's kind of an unspoken. I think that's kind of an unspoken, because if you don't have an address in this country to Chris Reed 3227, you're already treated like a criminal. I don't think you can get your mail. You can't send things. You can't even mail it. You can't even get you can't get like a, it's like they barely want you to be able to get a P.O. box. I think it was already illegal. It goes, shout out to the future past, to the social planners. You know what I mean? It's like, I think it was already illegal. It's just unspoken. They didn't say it. And they would just enforce it. They said, let me back it up. It's, unfortunately, most Americans are already one paycheck away from that status. I don't think. Yeah. If you're not compliant, we've already shown that I mean, no more. I don't think that's any more extreme than what was it, Klaus Schwab, when he said you'll own nothing and be happy. Because they already know, technically, we don't. To a certain extent, we don't. Because basically, the laws have been written for the people that control everything, for the powers. Yeah, speaking of Herr Schwab, Herr Schwab stepped down because there were some things in his some things allegedly that were unaccounted for. And then this Norwegian guy, Børge Brender, the new WEF chairman, he has stepped down. I found that interesting. Davos was not too long ago, but he stepped down. So I don't know who it is. They're about to turn over the chair. I don't know who the chair is right now. They have an interim chair. So down with Schwab, down with Børge Brender of the Norwegian chairman. So I don't know who in the world they're going to put in there right about now. But there's all kinds of distractions going on because it just seems like, I don't know what you guys think. Let's see. Let me back it up here. Things are going fast in here. Okay, let's see. Freedom Smart says the Trump needs to house the homeless and stop wasting our money on nonsensical wars. I'm picking up what you're putting down. And then Zero says homelessness was illegal way before. That's exactly what I believe. I think a lot of things, because if it's a gray area, then it's already illegal. It's just not, something they need to put pen to, but they really don't want you. Once you kind of get into that, it's not easy to. You have to have some type of support system. I think if you're trying to transition from being homeless to listen, guys, there's a lot more homeless. Homeless is a very gray area. You can be homeless in many ways. It just depends. Homeless is in the eye of the beholder. Okay. It's about perspective. Okay. Because you could have a place to sleep today and not a place to sleep tomorrow. You can, and you can be employed. You've got people that are homeless that are gainfully employed that have a 9-to-5. To me, that's not, that might sound a little bizarre, but it's real. There are plenty. Yeah. You can very much everything from, let's see. I realized not too long ago that people were living in storage facilities. People have done videos on that online, but people actually live in some of these storage units. Not just, it's a real deal. And it doesn't take a lot to get there. It doesn't. It can happen to anybody. And especially during COVID-19. I remember there were so many people living at the beach. I mean, I think Belmont Park was completely full. It was full every evening, even a couple of years afterwards. Because I think, what was it? The rent moratoriums. Yeah, I'm all over the place today, guys. I think I think that there were many people that were there. I mean, they were in brand new cars, but once they were behind on their rent, they could not. I just think it was too much. It was too much for them to recover. It's a lot to recover from. So, and then not to mention housing is, sometimes you can't always find affordable, what you think is affordable housing. Once you lose a place, you're not going to just walk back into one. It's just not like that. So yeah, I'm really pleased that you guys decided to come in these numbers. Let's see if there's something else that we can get into. Let's see. And I have, maybe on the next stream, I'll probably send out a link. I'll probably send out a link on the next stream and see what comes up. Let's see. Marcy T says it's straight out of Sodom and Gomorrah. Sodom and Gomorrah. Let's see. Let's think about this. Marcy T says we got to think. Why did everybody become drunk and alcoholic, drug addicts? Could it be them doing this BS to us all? Yes, the people's pendulum will be back. I'm going to bring it back. I haven't tried it. I haven't been on people's pendulum in so long. Let's try it right now. Let's just see. I'll run it for, let's see. Let's run people's pendulum for, let's run it for 5 minutes. Shall we? Let's see if I can do it. And I don't know. I haven't been on StreamYard in so long. So yeah, we'll just have to see. Let's see. Emails. What I could do is give you guys a if I could do, yeah, definitely in the future I'll try to get it out, and because it'll be better if I could do that. Let's see. Marcy T's here. She says we got to do something to stop this, because this is bull and we're all going to be in trouble without a doubt. Latressa said maybe with all the people being deported, prices will come down. I have no idea. Who's this huge? John Roberts. He says, what is Snap Indiana doing? Any other states too? Not sure. Let's see. Yeah, but I'm so pleased that you guys decided to come out. So we started this particular stream with this Time magazine loop that how Russia emerged as an early winner of the Iran war. We started that out. We've talked about gas prices. I'm so glad you're here, John Roberts. Everybody, like I said, go ahead and drop your links if you have a channel, if you wish to drop your links. That's all good. It's all good to do. Let's see. Huge 50 says, where does personal accountability meet victim mentality? I don't know. That might get to be a little bit of a spectrum there. a little bit formative on that one. Let's see. I'm trying to scroll down. Darrell Calhoun's still here. He says, I'm not making any accusations. None taken here. Not from me. Let's see. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you guys so much for coming in. Let me see if I can grab something else here. Now, I did kind of start going down that rabbit hole about the that the DOJ is releasing the FBI interviews. I did start going down that rabbit hole, but I don't know. It's a whole lot of going on. And this was a test, and you guys came out in big numbers. I appreciate that, guys, so much. So what I tell you, what I'm going to do is, I think I might try to schedule another live stream, and that way I might try to schedule a live stream. That way you guys, I can, I think I might try to do it on maybe Wednesday night or something, or Tuesday or Wednesday night. Maybe that's what, and I'll go ahead and let you know what we're on about. What? He says, Derek and I never get a link to your YouTube channel when you come on, Derek. So what I'll do is I'll just give you guys, I'll either email it out or I can text it out. I can put it on the site also. If I'm going to do a live, I'll put it out before I do it. I'll just come on a brief live, or either do it in the morning and say I'll be on live later today, and I'll just drop it. I'll just drop it in there that way. That way you can get, sometimes you have to, I don't know if it works if you sub and unsub and then resub. I'm not sure if that works. I don't hear any volume here. Let's see. Yeah, I hear the volume right now that I normally hear. Let's see. There it is. I appreciate it. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you guys so much for coming in and loving on the like button on this, on your Sunday. It's very nice. I appreciate it. I don't know, guys. Just hang in there, and I'll just try to keep you up to date. Thank you so much, Maylin. I really appreciate it. But I don't even see that I'm live right now. So that lets me know that they're still shadow banning. They're still doing their BS. I don't care what they say. They're still doing their BS. They really, really are. Okay. I see it, but I don't. Okay. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let's see. Mean spirited. Let's see. Derek C. Williams says the old is the same as the new Marcy T. In 2021, notifications for my videos only showed up 34% of the time. Yeah, I'm just kind of done with the hero. Yeah, I'm really done with the hero band. The hero band. So what was it? What was it? Rand Paul was the one that came out. They were supposed to be restoring people's channels a few months back, but yet the game is still the same. They're still controlling everything. So I mean, thank everybody for coming in, which I had quite a few people to drop in, but let's see. Let's go to the top. Let's go to the top of the heap. Marcy T, thank you so much, sister, for coming in. I'll certainly be catching up with you. Realize. Thank you so much for your support and for sending me items. Let's see. I still have something in queue, I believe. I will get to it. With this, I can do more with those items from in studio. Latressa Montgomery 7932. Thank you so much for coming in. Derek C. Williams, please keep inspiring us and keep coming back. Chris Wilson 9873. Thank you so much for coming in and loving on the like button. Zero, it's been a lifetime. I really appreciate it. It's nice to see you. And of course, Freedom's March, TDOA. Thank you so much for coming in. It's nice to see you guys. I guess we're going back. Why does this seem like we'll be on Gas Watch again? Gas Watch. Oh boy. Gas Watch, right? Let's see. Let's see, what else do we have? I'm trying to make sure I didn't miss anybody. John Roberts was here. John Roberts is always sneaking in here. Huge 50. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Of course, shout out to the class of 2019, COVID-19, the COVID-19. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate it. Chris Reed, 3227. And Darrell Calhoun, thank you so much for coming in. Yeah, guys, it's truly Ecclesiastes. There's nothing new under the sun because all of this, we've been here before, right? We just kind of keep looping back around. We just keep coming back to the same challenges or the same facing the same things. All right, guys. Oh my gosh. What is it? The song, it says, I'm slowly coming back to life. I'm slowly coming back to life. He says, no self-censoring, host, just slowly you're coming along. Yes, I'm coming back. Hold tight. I'm slowly coming back to life. Maylin says the devil keeps serving up the same old crap. Yeah, telling us it's the new. Yep. It's the same as the old. COVID. Shout out to the class of COVID-19. So yeah, I appreciate you guys. And thank you guys for loving on the like button. Those of you that still need to drop your links, I'll give you another minute flat to drop your links. I really appreciate it. There's a lot going on in the news cycle, guys. A lot. You got folklore meets, I don't know, ancient Rome or the empire. Both. Back to reality. All right, guys. Have a great rest of your sun in the day, evening. And I don't know if I'm brave enough. I don't know. Who knows? I may come back. I don't know. We'll see. But I appreciate you guys for sharing some time with me. And thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your evening. And bye for now.